So now we're going to look at the book cover, and who can tell me what they think is going on within the book cover? Yes, Georgie.
Two people are going on a bus.
Two people are going on the bus. These two people. Yeah. Who do you think they could be?
A mom and a son.
A mom and a son. What else is going on within the story? Within the cover of the book?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I can tell that they are taking a bus somewhere, but I'm not sure where, so we're just going to have to start reading in order to figure that out. So let's remember that we are going to be using a comprehension strategy called inferring. So I'm going to ask questions during the story so we can have a deeper understanding of the story. Last Stop on Market Street by Matt de la Peña. This will work. Okay. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside smelled like freedom. What does it mean when CJ says the air smells like freedom? What do we think it means?
Maybe because he's finally out of church, so he feels just free to do what he wants.
Right, yeah, he feels free because he's out of church. Because all I know is when you're sitting in church, you have to sit prim and proper, you can't really talk, and you just have to sit quietly. So I'm pretty sure he feels free to move around and move his body and all the sorts like that. But also, it smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. Why do you think CJ says it smells like rain?
Because maybe it's gonna rain or it rained.
Oh yeah, maybe it's gonna rain or it did rain. That's very good. I know there's always distinct smells. I know when I walk outside and it smells like spring, and then that's when I know spring is coming. This is very good. Okay. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet? Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw the straw. So, by looking at this page and looking at what we read, do you think it's a pouring rain or a drizzling rain? Like a big rain or a small rain?
Maybe only a small rain.
Maybe only a small.
Because it said it only freckled his shirt.
Right, good job making connections, freckling his shirt. Yeah, because when it's freckled, like we just learned, it's little mini spots. It didn't drench his shirt, so yeah, we could say that it is a drizzle rain. Okay. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched the rain patter against the windscreen of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" Who is Colby, and where do you think he's going? And do we think that CJ is jealous of Colby?
I think CJ is jealous of Colby because Colby has a car and he doesn't.
Yeah, we could say that because CJ keeps asking his Nana why they have to wait for the bus and all the wet, and he also did point out, why don't we have a car? Who do we think Colby is?
Maybe somebody that goes to church with him?
Yeah, maybe somebody that goes to church with him. His friend or something. Where do we think CJ is going?
Home.
Home? Yeah, home from church, right? Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire. And old Mr. Dennis, who always plays a trick for you. The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear. From behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. Nana sat up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. A woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure that CJ did the same. So, from here, how often do we think CJ rides the bus? How can we tell, too? How often do we think? Do we think he rides the bus a lot, or a little, or this is his first time? A lot? Why do we think it's a lot? How can we tell? What is he doing with the bus driver, Mr. Dennis?
He's like talking to him and like he knows him.
Yeah, like he's playing tricks on him. I don't think any bus driver would walk up to a kid and play a silly trick if they didn't know him, right?
Yeah.
So we could say that he does ride the bus pretty often. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knitted. How come we always gotta go here after church, CJ said. Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere. I feel sorry for those boys, she told him. They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglasses Man, and I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat. CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. The man climbed aboard with the spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come the man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses, too. The man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana sat down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking his strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of the music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed her eyes too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus and out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. How do you think the guitar player's music made everyone else on the bus feel? We know how CJ felt. He felt magic, he felt free, he felt the rhythm lifting him out of the bus. How do we think the other passengers are feeling right now?
Probably like happy too.
Happy too? You think that they're levitating too?
Yeah.
Do we think that they're like swaying back and forth, enjoying the music?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of music do we think he's playing to make them sway back and forth and make it feel? Do we think it's like rock music, or do we think it's calm music? Calm and happy music. Very good. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling pavements and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arching over the soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken down street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now, come on." Okay, so now you two are going to conversate together as a group, and then we're going to come back collectively for these last two questions. So, for the first question, where do you think CJ and his Nana went to make CJ feel so grateful? Where did they go?
Maybe to like the soup kitchen.
To the soup kitchen? Yeah. He went to the soup kitchen. Why do we think he feels so grateful about it?
Because he gets to help people that like can't get their own food and stuff.
Yeah, right. He wants to help people and he feels grateful that he gets to help those people get food and stuff. So as a group together, you two are going to conversate again. How has CJ changed from the beginning to the story to the end of the story? So work in a group together.
So I think in the beginning of the story, he was like complaining a lot and not really grateful.
At the end of the story, he was grateful and he understood why they didn't have a car and stuff.
Yeah, and he liked to help the people out.
Very good, guys. So CJ was always complaining in the beginning of the story because he didn't understand why they don't have a car, why they have to walk so much, and why this part of the city is so dirty. But then his grandma opens his eyes to the beauty of the world, no matter what, and the beauty of people within that world. Very good connections, very good answering questions. I'm very, very proud. Today, we learned and practiced a comprehension strategy called inferring. Inferring helps us better understand what we're reading in the story because it helps us generate good questions as we read to understand the story. Can someone raise their hand and tell me how we can use the strategy inferring again? Yeah, Charlotte.
By like thinking of like different questions to ask so you can like understand it more like.
Yeah, very good. We ask questions to get a deeper understanding within the story. Very, very, very good. We're gonna move on to the vocabulary. So I liked how we repeated back to me our vocabulary. We are going to do that again, and then I'm gonna give you some examples of how we can use it other than the story. Ready? Let me get them in order first. Ready? Ducked. Ducked is when someone ducks, they are able to lower their body and get under something. So for a different example, boys and girls ducked under the beach umbrella because it was so hot. Now repeat the word again. Ducked. Very good. Word 2 is freckled. Freckled means having or being covered with spots. A different example would be, because the sun was so bright, Lily's face was freckled. Say the word again.
Freckled.
Very good. Okay. The third word is lurched. Say it with me. Lurched. A fast or unsteady movement. A different example would be, the boat lurched roughly through the rough seas. Say this word again.
Lurch.
Very good. Word 4, our last word, is plucking. Plucking means to hold something and take it away from its place very fast. So another example would be, Josh was plucking a harp during a band concert. What is this word?
Plucking.
Very good. So now we're going to do some vocabulary